Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each personal month forecast for the month of May 2023. And this will include the forecast for the full moon as well as the new moon. And that full moon that we have at the beginning of the month on the 5th is a full moon lunar eclipse. So it's a big one. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where we'll take a deep dive into your own personal numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below, and you can get an idea for the services that I offer and what might align with your current needs. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. Now, May 2023 is a 3 universal month. Okay, what that means is that basically collectively we're all going to sort of be feeling the energy of the 3. And what that could bring about is sort of more focused energy on communication, how we communicate, how we sort of share our stories, our words, right? The spoken word. We, of course, have a Mercury retrograde at the beginning of the month and through the mid-month. So, communication might be a little bit off. So where it's showing us that, where there might be some sort of glitches is sort of showing us where we might need some additional work, right? So in other words, the energy of the 3, if there's miscommunication, if there's a breakdown in communication, this energy is going to assist us in recognizing that and trying to do better, right? It's not always about how we feel we need to express ourselves, but also taking into consideration how that expression might land for others and what is more easily digestible and what isn't, right? And so if we want to get our message across, we have to take into consideration others and sort of how they receive that information, right? We don't have control over that, but we certainly have control over the intention behind our communication, our written, our spoken word. And, if that's coming from a place of vengeance or hatred or ugliness, right? Or the need to be right, that's going to land a lot differently than if it's coming from a place of an open heart and one of just genuineness, right? Like genuinely just trying to get your message across in a kind and compassionate way. So that can be coming into the forefront this month as well. This can also be a very social time. So you may see your social calendar light up this month collectively, right? Or we might collectively see that. You might see things sort of pick up, the pace pick up a bit. 3 energy is big energy. It wants to be seen and heard and experienced. So anywhere within your life where you might be making yourself small, you could see sort of this energy light that area up and ask you to step out into the spotlight a bit more, ask you to, again, express yourself in an authentic, beautiful way. That feels true for you, right? And so again, you might see the opportunities for collaboration, networking come into play. It's up to you whether you say yes to those invitations or not, but this is a great time to meet new people, meet new friends, significant others, or business partners, right? People who will help you to get your message across on a bigger platform. When we work together and work with others, we often, of course, there's greater energy behind whatever that is. And so that helps us to again, get that message out in a bigger, more expansive way. So big, big energy this month, the month of May collectively. Again, 3 energy wants to be seen, expressed, and experienced, right? So anywhere that you've been sort of making yourself small or trying to hide in the shadows, this energy is going to sort of push you outside your comfort zone a little bit so that you can be seen, so that you can share your gifts, so that you can sit, find your rightful place at the table, sit there and feel confident there, own that space. So 3 energy doesn't allow us or doesn't want us to minimize who we are. It wants us to express who we are and do that in a kind, compassionate way where we're not trying to take somebody else's spotlight away from them, because there's room on the stage for everyone. So beautiful, beautiful energy this month with that 3 energy. Again, it's what we do with it, but I love to see this. This is a very collaborative, coming together, working together, sharing ideas type of energy. And so when we can do that in a harmonious, sort of beautiful way, the rewards are great. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at each personal month and how these energies could be affecting you as we move through May. Personal month 2, if you are currently in a personal month 2 for the month of May, then this month is probably going to highlight for you areas that need to be brought into balance. So if there's areas or relationships that need healing, that need your attention, that require you to sort of be the bigger person, to sort of stand back, be the observer, see where something, see where the disconnect is, and then it's going to be up to you to come in to reconnect whatever that is. Now, again, if this is a toxic situation, then of course you're not going to be asked to, move back into that toxic situation. What you'll be asked to do is to find the harmony within that. And by that, I mean energetically, right? So if you're carrying something that is weighing you down from something that happened and you're not able to sort of work with that person to release it, heal it, mend it, then this is going to potentially be a month where you'll need to find a way to do that for yourself, right? So energetically, emotionally, whether that's working with a professional to help you to do that, or whether you have your own sort of system in place to be able to do that, this will be a great month for that. And so it'll sort of highlight for you where it is that there is that disconnect, and it might be something where it's going to ask you to show up a little bit differently, right? And to recognize where you're accountable in that situation. That's not going to be for everyone, but if for some, sometimes we also have to look at like our own actions within that connection, whether that is why we allowed it to happen, why we sort of kept showing up to it, why we were whatever, right? Whatever it shows up to, or, like maybe, I don't know, maybe there's another way that your actions also influence the situation. And so that's going to be, of course, case by case. And you just need to take a look at your own situation and see if that aligns, right? But the 2 energy is really, when it comes in, the focus is about coming together, uniting, balance, really paying attention to those areas of our life that are out of balance, and how can we move towards bringing them back into balance with greater harmony. And so you might see themes surface this month for you around those areas of your own life that are out of balance and that need to come together. Now, that could mean having to have more difficult conversations in areas that maybe you don't feel comfortable having those conversations. But in order to move forward in a more harmonious way, whether that's simply with self, you might have to have those conversations, right? So again, pay attention to what comes up for you. Now, it can also bring in soul contracts when we're in a 2 cycle. Now, it's a quick cycle, but that doesn't mean that, big things can't happen within a short cycle. So pay attention to the people that you meet this month. That can be friends, family, pets, right? Like, an energetic connection could be made this month that can have an impact in your life for many months or many years to come. A lot of times under a 2 cycle, the teachers, the mentors, the connections that we need to continue to evolve and progress can surface around that time. So if you feel sort of called to, you're walking down the street and you feel called to walk into a store, follow that intuition, see where it takes you. You might meet the love of your life. You might meet a friend who is just very solid and, you can have a really good time with. So be very open to the people that you meet around this time. It may also be that a business partner comes in, someone who can assist you. This 2 energy will often ask us to be open to receiving assistance from others, to know that we don't have to do it alone. The more that we try to do everything by ourselves, the more difficult the work becomes. And so 2 energy is saying, hey, let's work smarter, not harder. And who can you work with to sort of carry some of the burden, carry some of the load in this vision, that whatever it is that you're working towards, who can you find that shares the vision and is willing to do the work with you? So beautiful month for that. Now, you're also, of course, working with the 3 collective energy that we're all working with. And so again, this just opens the floodgates of communication, of working together, collaboration, socializing. So again, this is a great, great, great month for you if you're in a personal month too, to put yourself out there, to meet new people, to be open to the connections that you meet. They might look different than what you had thought they might look like. And to, accept assistance from others to help you to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to do, right? Recognize your own limitations, and instead of just trying to power through it, why not ask for someone, assistance from someone who has strengths where those limitations lie and can assist you in achieving whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Finding people who have similar values and similar goals. This is a great month for that. Now, on the 5th of May, we have a full moon lunar eclipse. And so a lot of times the lunar eclipse, the full moon lunar eclipse will eclipse something out, right? We'll remove something from our experience so that something new can come in, something more aligned. That is possible, but there can also be big new initiations. For you all, you are working with the energy of the 1 around this full moon. And so that tells me that there's something here that is a big new start, a big new initiation, taking a risk, doing something a little bit differently than you would normally do it, finding the confidence to do that, finding your own sense of autonomy and not losing yourself in relationships, but not shying away from relationships, right? So finding that healthy balance. But there's definitely something here for you all around this full moon about new starts, taking initiative, being a little bit more impulsive if you need to be. Not sort of second guessing yourself, but seeing the target and moving towards it, right? And like really putting in that effort and that investing into something that you really, really want that might be outside the box or might be different than what you would normally go for. This full moon is going to sort of give you that courage, light that fire to, it could bring in new inspirations, new ideas, new visions. And you're absolutely meant to entertain those. Could also bring in new starts. So new relationships. I could absolutely see that for you all, or new soul connections, right? Again, 1 being the beginning of something new, something fresh, something different, potentially coming in. And because you're in a personal month too, that ties in relationships. And it's not just romantic relationships, it's the whole spectrum of relating. So there could be some new soul contracts that come in for you all absolutely around this full moon. Now remember, the full moon, when it's an eclipse, it's a storyline that's starting to unfold over the next 3 to 6 months or even the next year, right? So pay attention to the themes that start to come up for you around this eclipse. For you all, I think it's going to be very much centered around, again, potentially relationships, potentially balance, and new starts, starting new things, and finding the confidence to be able to do that in a way where you express yourself without holding yourself back, right? Minimizing or without listening to the self-doubt that might creep in. Now, around the 19th or 20th, depending on where you live within the world, we have a new moon. Now, this new moon for you all emphasizes the energies of the 6 and the 7. So again, 6 energy, we have that of unconditional love, of relationships. And these are the relationships that are closest to our heart. So these are very much those deeper soul connections, right? So partners, children, family, close community, friends who are very close to our heart. For you all, it's falling under all these other energies of May, which again signifies some kind of new start. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, it could be like, seeing the relationship with fresh eyes so that you can do things a little bit differently, maybe spice things up a little bit, bring that fire back into the connection. For those of you who are single and are looking, or even if you're not looking, sometimes the universe is like, it doesn't matter if you're ready or not, but here, have a soulmate. And so this is a very strong month. The energies are very potent for you all if you're in a personal month too, to really meet someone who could be very significant in your life and who could be there for quite some time. And the reason why I also say that is because, of course, you're working with the 7 energy as well, and it's a new moon. So again, initiations, new starts, fresh new beginnings. The 7 sort of is when the veil is thinner, right? It's like the connection to the ethereal, to our sort of higher consciousness. And so, and then, translating that into something very tangible, very physical. So it's like those two worlds colliding. So again, this could be your soul in the driver's seat connecting you with a partner, or this could also be if you've been looking to get pregnant. This could be a great month for that potentially, right? And that would very much be aligned with 6-7 energy when they come together. So very much a month for you all focused on connections with others, finding balance, relationships, how you relate, meeting someone, again, that could potentially be a very big influence or a very big presence within your journey in a good way. But the key for you, of course, is going to be open to that assistance, to that connection, even if it scares you, and see where it takes you. So beautiful month ahead for you all if you are in a personal month too. I hope it's a great one. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.